Cruise control at Craven Cottage as Arteta's Arsenal comfortably put 3 past former gunner Leno. So from Arteta's dominant tactics to the Gunners sharing responsibility and a masterclass from Leandro Trossard. Let's break it all down and discuss the 3 takeaways from Fulham 0, Arsenal 3. Hello, I'm JC and welcome back to Arsenal Analysed. I know you're doing well as the Gunners have just recorded their 5th Premier League win in a row. Yet another 3 points in the bag. We've got so much to break down, so please smash that like button if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, as we're so close to 2,500 subscribers. I'd massively appreciate it. Arteta's Arsenal with yet another dominant performance, this time Fulham at the mercy of Arsenal. And as we can see here from this field tilt graph, Arsenal absolutely dominated Fulham in that first 30 minutes and being rewarded with 2 goals. Fulham trying to get back into the game. That ended up with Arsenal scoring a 3rd, and it was very much a similar story in that second half, although Fulham did go for a slightly different shape compared to the first. They wanted to win that second half, but Arsenal never out of second gear, which is further highlighted by the match stats. Arsenal outperforming their XG 2.3 on the day, Fulham not even with one. To my surprise, final third entries, Fulham did outperform Arsenal in this area. The same with zone 14 touches as well. Progressive passes, Arsenal head and shoulders above Fulham. But I did expect Arsenal to dominate possession a little bit more. And those numbers were very, very different in that first half. In terms of shape, Fulham opting for a 4-4-2. No space between the lines, but Arsenal sticking to their guns with that usual front 5 and the 2 Zinchenko and Partey at the base of midfield. And although Fulham did opt for a different shape compared to oppositions in previous weeks, the result was no different. And what were we rewarded with? Goals. Arsenal did punish Fulham initially. A goal was given offside through VAR, but only a few minutes later, Gabriel did manage to score from a corner. And not too long after that, Arsenal managed to hit Fulham on the counter-attack. Fulham not opting to go man for man. Saliba with a long ball here to Granit Xhaka. And we can already see Fulham's back 4 backing off as more and more Arsenal players flood onto the scene. Eventually, we see Arsenal's usual front 5 against a narrow Fulham 4, and we all know what ends up happening. The ball ends up in the back of the net from a Trossard cross, a Martinelli header, and it was a very similar story for the 3rd game, set and match. In this picture, again, we can see Fulham narrow back 4, the usual front 5 of Arsenal here on the left-hand side. We can see Martinelli slipping the ball into Trossard. Saka and Odegaard have swapped. Odegaard usually playing in that right half space. Fluid front system, pulling Fulham players from left to right, always second guessing, pulling Fulham players and formations out of position. The ball eventually comes in. Odegaard takes way too many touches than I would have liked if I was Fulham manager before hitting the ball into the back of the net. Checkmate, 3-0 Arsenal. We could have quite easily have been 4, 5, even 6 up in that first half. And if we just have a look here at the average shape of both sides, Fulham, as I mentioned, typically opting for that 4-4-2, as you've just seen from some of those previous pictures. But in the second half, they really did have a go. Arsenal's field tilt not as aggressive in that second half, and that's because they changed for more of a 4-3-3. Go out and win that second half was clearly the message. However, it did not transpire. Arsenal, on the other hand, some slight differences to to what we've seen in previous weeks. Zinchenko, number 35, still operating in that left half space, but slightly deeper compared to where we were seeing him operating in previous weeks. Granit Xhaka still sort of sitting in that left half space just behind Leandro Trossard, and I can only assume the reason we've seen these differences here is because of that fluidity between Trossard and Martinelli in recent weeks, something that we've all become familiar with when Jesus, who did come on and is back in the side, that's what we've seen. We've seen that box midfield, Trossard dropping into midfield to make up extra numbers, creating overloads. But apart from that, there were no real changes from a tactical point of view. Arsenal absolutely dominant, sticking to their guns, rewarded with not only 3 points, but 3 goals in the process. Trossard and co gave us Arsenal fans an absolute treat against Fulham. I could quite easily sit here and talk through each and every Arsenal player, whether it be Thomas Partey, Gabriel, Zinchenko, maybe even the Granit Xhaka of old, dare I say it. But there were 3 players in particular that really stood out for me, starting with none other than Captain Odegaard. He was rewarded with a goal. He created 2 big chances in the game, 89 passing accuracy, 2 successful dribbles, 10 final third passes, 2 tackles won, the most on the pitch, 4 recoveries, and 5 ground duels won. Leading by example, a huge captain performance from Martin Odegaard, and another player that really impressed me against Fulham, a player that has been out of form in recent weeks, and there was just glimpses of him returning, and I think against Fulham it has finally been confirmed. Gabriel Martinelli, since the introduction of Trossard, has been an absolutely different animal altogether. And just like Odegaard, he was rewarded with a goal, 38 touches, 6 touches in the opposition box, 5 possessions won, 4 duels, 4 shots, 2 shots on target, 2 fouls won, and a chance created. But I think we can all agree, head and shoulders above absolutely everyone else. And please do correct me down in the comments below. Who was your Arsenal man of the match against Fulham? Because mine was none other than Leandro Trossard. 54 touches, 7 crosses, winning the ball 6 times, creating 4 chances, 3 touches in the box, considering he ended with a hat-trick of assists, 2 duels won, and 2 big chances created. Only Kevin De Bruyne with 12 and Bukayo Saka with 9 have provided more Premier League assists this season than Trossard, who is on 7, and that's without the 8 goals that he already has in the bag as well. And we haven't seen a player put in a performance like this since the days of Santi Cazorla back in 2012-2013 season. That was the last time we saw someone bag 3 assists in 1 Premier League game, and that was against Liverpool. Wow, what an absolute performance from this lad. Signing of the season, we'll have to wait and see. I think it's safe to say that Arteta really has changed the culture of Arsenal Football Club. But one thing that he has really changed is the way that this team works together and shares responsibility. And we're now starting to reap the rewards of this in the Premier League, starting with 3 players. Yes, 3 players have now all got 10 plus goals for this campaign in the Premier League. That's Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, and Martin Odegaard, with only just a few sitting behind those 3. I wonder if anyone else will join them come the end of the season, and they're in great company nevertheless. Paris Saint-Germain are the only team in Europe with 3 players to hit 10 plus goals each: Mbappe, Neymar and Messi. Now, by no means am I comparing those 3 to ours, but they certainly are in good company. And at the other end of the pitch, it's just as important to score goals as it is to keep clean sheets and a solid back 4 or back 5, with Aaron Ramsdale the first goalkeeper to keep 9 plus clean sheets away from home in a single league campaign since David Season did it in the 93-94 season. Also 9, only Seaman 13 back in the early 90s, and George Swindon 10 way back in 1947 have kept more in the process. And as highlighted in that table, sitting pretty with 9, thirds in that little league table there. But all this hard work and all this responsibility shared has resulted in things like Arsenal now winning 5 away derby matches in London against Crystal Palace, Brentford, Chelsea, Tottenham and Fulham. I think it's safe to say that London is definitely red. And you know what? One other thing makes for really good reading. Arteta won his 100th game as Arsenal manager against Fulham today. What an achievement for such a young manager in the Premier League. Where will his career take him? That's going to wrap things up for this video. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe if you're new to the channel. That was 3 key takeaways from Fulham 0, Arsenal 3. That's 1 more final in the bag. Some electric football in the process. But more importantly, we're still top of the league, 5 clear. It's Crystal Palace next. Stay safe, take care, and come on you Gunners.